Hi guys, I'm Trudy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about how I prepared for and passed the NBCOT exam. If you want to get some tips on how to prepare and pass the NBCOT, please stay tuned for this video. Now let's get into the video. As some of you might be aware, I took both the OTA and OTR exam because I actually went to both OTA and OTR school. I'm going to talk about the OTA exam first. I prepared for the OTA exam is I used the AOTA exam prep. Now that prep is an amazing prep. Well, first let me say the OTA exam has 200, well at the time I took it, it had 200 multiple choice questions. So what I did was I bought the AOTA exam prep, which it's a 1 year subscription. So basically you can customize as much examinations as possible in the span of 1 year. So in all the different domains, by topics, let's say domain 1, domain 2, domain 3, or by topic, let's say for today you might just want to do 50 questions. So you can customize your questions based on the different topics, based on the different domains, whatever. That's what I really love about the AOTA exam prep. To be quite frank, when I studied for the boards, the main thing I used was the AOTA exam prep. I also had my textbook for reference, but something also very important, the AOTA exam prep also has some PDFs. So, honestly, it's kind of like a cheat sheet. Instead of going back to your textbook, no, I'm not saying you shouldn't go back to your textbook, but what the AOTA exam prep does is it compiles them in something that's more easy to digest. So that's what I really love about the AOTA exam prep. The material is really concise and get to the point. Now, for the OT boards, I also use the AOTA exam prep. And what I did was I bought the subscription in my last semester because the subscription lasts for 1 year. I would say purchase it in your last semester of school and do the same thing like I said before, customize the test based on domain, based on topic. The difference with the OTA and the OT exam is there are clinical simulations. And the good thing about the AOTA exam prep is it has a ton, let me tell you, a ton of clinical simulations. So what I would encourage you is do all of them. It's just to practice your skills because remember, you're timed. So what you want to do is practice your skills and try to take 3 clinical simulations in like 30 minutes. I would say practice your skills. Use the AOTA exam prep, the clinical simulation part, to really sharpen up your skills and how to answer the clinical simulations. Because while the OTA exam is just multiple choice questions, the OTR exam is multiple choice questions in addition to clinical simulations. I'm not saying you shouldn't use your textbook, but I feel like the PDFs make studying for the different topics a lot easier. Now, in terms of studying, I think you should give yourself between 2 to 3 months to study for the test. So don't take it, I would say, like 4 weeks. I'm sure there are people who pass it after, say, 4 weeks. But I would say for the most part is 2 to 3 months. And also don't wait too long because trust me, if you wait too long, then the information you learned in school, you might forget some of them. So you want to take it in that 2 to 3 months period. Don't wait too long. Now in terms of textbook, of course your textbook from your respective colleges is going to be a good source of reference. But sometimes it's kind of difficult to, to be flipping through, like say 5, 6 textbook. This book is really such an amazing book. No, they have it for both OTA and OT. So if you're studying for the OTA boards, there's also an exam prep. And also if you're studying for the OTR board, there's also a therapy ed exam book. That book is amazing. My only critique with that book is that the questions, I'm not really a fan of the questions. I would say stick with the AOTA exam prep or the Johnson book for your questions. These questions, not so much. I would say use the book for the information in the book, and it compiles it so well. But in terms of the questions, not so much. And in terms of those, those 1-day courses, I know this is gonna be a little bit controversial, but I honestly don't believe the course is worth it. You know, like different schools, I know they might have somebody come in and do like a prep. But in all honesty, I feel like if you have the therapy ed textbook, you have the AOTA prep, and plus your books from college, you really don't need like somebody to come in, because a lot of times they're not going to let you record them. So it's not like you can write down everything they say. You're going to be, you know, jotting down notes. I just feel like it's not really worth it to help you pass the boards. If you have the therapy ed textbook, your textbooks from college, the AOTA PDFs, the exam prep, that's good. And also I want to talk about the NBCOT study pack. Now, the study pack is amazing. If you're going to choose between the study pack versus, let's say, somebody come to your college and do those, you know, those 2-day preps, I would say go for the study pack over attending one of those prep sessions where somebody come in for like 2 days and give you, you know, and give you some tips. The study pack, honestly, in my opinion, let me tell you, I had literally everything. I had the study pack, I had the AOTA exam prep, I had the therapy ed course, I had the therapy ed textbook. So now I'm telling you, based on all these different preps that I had, what's really worth it and what's not. And I'm telling you, the study pack is worth it, because guys, come on, NBCOT makes the test. And hint, hint, if they make the test, who would you trust more to prepare you for the boards? In my opinion, the study pack is really worth it. But of course, there are some flaws, because you don't really get as much feedback as you would like. So that's kind of one of the flaws. You know, like with the AOTA exam prep, when you get questions incorrect, at least, you know, you can, you know, it gives you the rationale as to why it's, well, if it's correct, they give you the rationale of why it's correct. And they also give you the rationale of why the others are not correct. That, I would say, is a disadvantage with the study pack. But still, in all honesty, it's still a good prep. And I would say, you know, purchase it and use it as one of your main source or one of your main prep tool for studying for the boards. And also something else I want to talk about is the limited permit. And I'm pretty sure you heard me talk about this in my previous video about how to pass the NBCOT. Well, the limited permit basically give you permission to practice under the supervision of a licensed therapist. So you're not really licensed, but helps you to work, and you can save up some money. But if you've been in college for like how many years, if you're OTA like 2 years, and if you went back to school for OTA, like you spend another like 2 to 3 years, 3.5 years, trust me, you can survive 2 months, or you can survive 2 to 3 months without working. And the reason why I'm so against the limited permit is the exam is academia based. So you might learn one thing in college, but when you go to the setting, it might be something totally different. No, NBCOT doesn't really, I don't want to say they doesn't really care, but what they want you to practice in the setting is what you were taught in the textbook. Stick to studying for 2 to 3 months. Don't get a limited permit, because what you see in practice might be different from best practice. And you don't want to go to a test and you're thinking, wait, but this is what I did. But because that's what you did, or that's what your supervisor did, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the right thing to do. So the limited permit, basically, for me, in my opinion, is a no-no. Trust me, you can survive that 2 to 3 months without it. Not everybody who took the limited permit actually failed. There are some people who did do the limited permit and then went on to pass, but those are the minority. The majority of people who took the limited permit have a more difficult time passing the boards, because they've been out of school for like a year, and you're not going to remember as much stuff in a year versus in 2 to 3 months. So you want to take the test when the information is still fresh in your memory. If you fail on your first attempt, don't wait too long. NBCOT actually allows you to retake the boards 30 days if you fail it your first or second time. But if you fail it, you know, like say 6 times, you have to wait like 6 months. So if you fail it your first time, don't wait too long. You know, don't be too discouraged. Just regroup, think about what you did wrong, and just retake the boards as soon as possible. And you know what too? You should try to have this mindset, because not everybody passed the test on their first attempt. You should have this mindset to say, you know what? If I fail it, I'm going to retake it and I'm not going to stop studying. I'm not going to stop studying until I passed it. So if you fail your test, don't be discouraged. You can retake it again. And the good thing about OT at this moment is there's no limit on the amount of time you can retake the boards. But as I said, if you fail it your first time, don't get too discouraged. Regroup, restudy, everything, and retake the boards. And also one more thing I want to talk about is like study groups. I think you should join like a study group. I mean, no, with what's going on with COVID, I'm pretty sure, you don't have to meet in person, but you can do like a Zoom thing, or you can do a WhatsApp group or something, a Facebook group. But I would say definitely join a group, because you know what? Some people are stronger in some areas. Some people might be stronger in hands. Some people might be stronger in splints. And then, you can bounce ideas from off different people. Because sometimes, you know what? You get a questions correct, but sometimes you don't even know why you got it correct. But then one of your friends in the group might be able to explain, the rationale as to why it's correct or why it's not correct. So I would definitely say find a study group, study with others, try to bounce ideas off of, different people. And again, don't be discouraged. I'm not gonna lie, it's a both of them, both the OTA boards and the OTR boards, both are very tough. I'm not gonna lie, it's stressful and they're very expensive. It's like, now it's what, $550? That's a lot of money. But as I said, if you fail on your first attempt, don't get discouraged. Regroup and retake the boards. And another book that I want to talk about is the Johnson Prep book. It has a bunch of questions. That book is also a very good book. The only difference is the AOTA exam prep is, wider because it has the PDFs. I mean, I'm not telling you to go crazy and get everything. If I could make like the top things that you should get for the boards, I would say definitely get the AOTA exam prep, get the therapy textbook, and the NBCOT study pack. You don't have to get the Johnson textbook if you have the AOTA exam prep. So if you have the Johnson textbook, you don't necessarily need the AOTA exam prep. And if you have the AOTA exam prep, you don't necessarily need the Johnson textbook. Another thing too, don't get every single prep there is. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. So get like, 3 solid ones. Let me reiterate this, guys. NBCOT, they are the ones who make the test. Ding, ding. So buy the study pack. And like I said earlier, there are changes as to when you can retake the boards. So I'm going to leave a link in the description box so you can check when you can retake the boards, depending on how many times you've taken it prior. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And please share this video with someone who you think it might help. Also, please click the notification button so you get notified every time I post a new video. I post a new video every Sunday. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.